Whoa! 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 Wow! 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 Welcome back to NewZeroland. This is part 4 of our South Island motorcycle road trip series. So far we've ridden down the east coast, cut across the country over Arthur's Pass, and almost didn't make it down the west coast to Makarora. And in the last episode, I left you at quite the cliffhanger, so grab some pineapple lumps, because this is where the fun begins. We woke up as early as we could and started packing up the bikes. Believe it or not, our gear was still wet from the rain the day before. My fuzzy ball got all wet. It's spiky now.
You like spiky balls in your chin?
I was going so slow yesterday that at 100% it says I can go 227 Ks, which is just crazy.
It's good, but do you really want to ride at 40 to 60 kilometers per hour?
Nah, let's change that. Yesterday sucked because it was raining and stuff, but today, blue skies, amazing weather, so we're gonna go fast. So fast. We are all charged up and all checked out, and it's time to go to the blue pools of Haast. This would mean riding back up the way we came, but it was a way better day for a hike than yesterday. Unfortunately, the Triumph was not sounding good. Well, it sounds like the Triumph is running on 2 cylinders, which is a problem because it has 3 cylinders. Luckily, we're going to spend some time in Queenstown, a couple days, and so we can have the bike checked out there, hopefully. Fantail bro. Whoa. The air is so clear out here. There's so much greenness. It's just so fresh. Love it. I keep thinking I'm gonna see ninjas jumping in between these trees. Ninja scroll. Just spotted these though. Obvious markings of a tiny fa. It's a bridge. Oh, yeah, don't have too many friends. Whoop. It's bouncy. Blue pools 2 minutes.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Now you can have 20 friends, but no more. Ooh. The blue pools, if you Google search them like I did before this trip, are crazy blue. So apparently they get this color because the water comes from glacier ice, but it rained so much in the last few days that they were more like the green pools of Haast. It was still an awesome hike though, and I'm always impressed that people find these hidden gems way out in the forest and then build these awesome elevated walkways to get there. So, blue pools, 30 minutes, old lady pace like us, it's 30 minutes one way, yeah, an hour total. In motorcycle gear, we're covered in sweat, so just so you know. Now, we're headed down to Wanaka. That way. Just south of Makarora, the road started getting good. Like, really good. It just kept going like this for miles and miles, and the views kept getting better. Whoever designed and paved this road, thank you. Eventually the road cuts in east from Lake Wanaka to Lake Huawei through something called the Neck. And wow, I kept thinking about Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear saying, "This is the best road in the world."
In the world.
And I feel like it really is up there on the list. This is definitely one of the most scenic roads in New Zealand. And this is the main highway, if you can believe that. Going slow the last couple days, getting through that charging dead zone on the west coast, and riding through all that rain was totally worth it to experience this on our motorcycles. We made it to Wanaka just in time for lunch, and it seemed like all that rainy weather was behind us. Next up, our plan was to not take the main highway, but instead take Crown Range Road, which I only know about because Mad Mike shot this crazy video drifting an RX-7 up it. Definitely check that video out later, it's insane. But Crown Range Road required a full charge. So before leaving Wanaka, I stopped at the fast charging station. And every time I plug in, somebody comes up to talk. Usually they have no idea that electric motorcycles even exist, but when they know what it is, it goes kind of like this.
Oh my lucky stars, an Ego!
Say what?
If you don't like talking to strangers, definitely don't get an electric motorcycle. Luckily for me, I love the attention, and you end up meeting all kinds of interesting people. And later on in this trip, this really came in handy. Oh, Wanaka, we'll miss you. It's so beautiful down here. Like, this place definitely makes me want to move to the South Islands. For the views, but mostly for the roads. Alright, Crown Range Road. So this should take us up over the mountains, and it's kind of like a shortcut to Queenstown. Why do they have two roads that go to Queenstown? Because fun, windy road. Actually, now seems like a good time to pause the video and share this awesome sticker designed by our friend Candace. Twisty roads, New Zealand ferns, the Energica, of course. Jen on the Zero. I know she's on the Triumph for this trip, but we definitely should have taken the Zero. Also the cat, who couldn't come on this trip, but she's a recurring character on the channel, so she had to be in there too. Anyway, if you want one, I put it in the merch store. There's a link down below. Okay, back to the video. So this sign, you guys in Europe will know, means there isn't a speed limit. So basically, ride to the conditions. Well, the conditions were perfect, so... There's deer over there. Jen's gonna watch the deer, and I'm gonna go check out this Tesla station in Cardrona. Anyway, I'm in the middle of nowhere, right? This is seriously the middle of nowhere. And here's a Tesla charging station. Blows my mind. People say electric is the future, but it's been here a while, you know? Ah, get off. But nobody's using Teslas anymore because we all have electric motorcycles. Oh yeah. From Cardrona onward, this is where the magic happens. So I thought the road earlier was the best road in the world, but that was amazing.
That was way better.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. It was bogging down, so I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
It was like, vroom! I was like,
Oh
oh.
no. Yeah, we're gonna check that. So over there is Queenstown. Up at the summit, I had to leave a little souvenir. Alright, I left a sticker. Come find it. Take a photo, send it to me. Crown Range Summit. One of the coolest roads ever. Alright, let's head down. Oh, I just crossed over 7,000 kilometers on the bike. That's exciting. Near the end of the road, it seemed like it was the end of the Triumph. It was really struggling on 2 cylinders. So we started thinking maybe we got bad gas in Makarora, or maybe it got too wet from the rainstorm in the last episode and shorted something out. Maybe a spark plug was bad. We had no idea, so we definitely wanted to get it checked out by a mechanic. We managed to just barely limp it to Queenstown and check into our hotel, which I know hardcore bikers are saying, what kind of motorcycle trip is this? You're not camping? No, we're not. Yeah, Queenstown.
So good.
Amazing. Ice cream, even more amazing. So we decided to take a break from the motorcycle trip, and we'll be here for another day. Just a day off the bikes is always good.
Enjoy the sun.
Yeah.
And the gear.
After such an epic day of riding on the twisty roads from Wanaka to here, well, even before Wanaka.
Cardrona.
Yeah, amazing roads. So we're just gonna see the sights around Queenstown, and then after that, we'll keep heading south.
The next day.
So the Triumph Street Triple situation has gotten worse, and so we're leaving it at a motorcycle mechanic. He's gonna come and check it out in a bit, but hopefully he can sort it out today because today is our last day in Queenstown. But we couldn't go a day without riding on the twisties, so we're hitting the luge. Now it's time for tacos. No NewZeroland road trip would be complete without tacos. Our buddy Emil said Taco Medic was the best in Queenstown, and he was right. Everybody and their grandmother comes to Queenstown and gets Ferg Burger, but when you're craving tacos, this is the spot. Then I got a call from the mechanic with some interesting news. The sound. So, the sad state of affairs with the Triumph. We actually, so that sound, if you can hear it, is the mechanic riding the Energica, because you just want to share the experience with everybody. And this is obviously the first Energica that he's seen. It's the first one on the South Island. It's the, one of two in New Zealand. So I let him ride it just because he seemed like a cool dude. But and also he has a 2017 R1, so it's very similar and whatever. But unfortunately, he spent a little bit like taking the Triumph apart and checking everything and like testing out the oil pressure and coolant and all that stuff, and he has no idea what's wrong with it, and he basically thinks that it's gonna explode at any minute. And I told him that we're gonna ride another 2,000 Ks, and is that okay? And he just laughed.
You serious?
And he's like, yeah, I mean, just go for it, have an adventure. Otherwise, sell it as soon as possible, which is the safer option. But we don't really have that option here because we're in the middle of Queenstown. We're leaving tomorrow to go to Milfordtown, so just gas bikes. I was joking about this in the last video, or not the last video, but the video before our trip about which one's more reliable, just as a joke. But here we are. I didn't expect this at all, but apparently we need a whole new engine for the Triumph, or we take it out and convert it to electric, which is Jen thinks that's a good idea, so we might do that. Yeah. Yep. Never a dull moment here in NewZeroland.
cool.
Yeah? Something different, right?
Oh, cool. Thank you. That was really cool.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of it?
It's really good.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, coming from like an R1 to this, yeah, it was a bit different. Like, it's not like got that kind of horsepower. Like,
Yeah.
It's not a 200 horsepower bike, but it's amazing. It's really fun. Once you get going though, slow speed, for any other rider, like you're gonna have a hard time, like a really hard time. Like,
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like you can steer through that slow speed stuff, like yeah. But apart from that, it's absolutely amazing.
Nice.
I loved it. You must be really happy with it.
I was happy with it, but the Triumph was a different story. We had a few drinks and schemed up a game plan for the rest of the trip. We started looking on our phones for used bikes in Christchurch, thinking maybe we could ditch the Triumph and finish the trip on something else, assuming we made it to Christchurch. Or maybe we could two-up the rest of the trip on the Energica? Nah, but we had too much luggage for that. A few more drinks and we just decided to ignore the problems and keep riding it until it explodes. But the very next day would reveal a new issue with the Triumph, which would plague us until the end of the trip.